Okay, we are moving into the next part of the digestive system, that is called as the pharynx. So, what do you mean by pharynx? Pharynx is a wide muscular tube situated behind the nose. You can see here, this is a pharynx part you are looking. So, it lies behind the nose, the mouth, and the larynx. So, the pharynx is a wide muscular tube situated behind the nose, the mouth, and the larynx. It is about 12 centimeter in length and it is subdivided into three parts. So the pharynx consists of three parts. The three parts of the pharynx are nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. So the pharynx is divided in three parts. They are called a nasopharynx. You can see here nasopharynx, nasal part what you see, that is called nasopharynx. The oral part is called oropharynx and this part is called as a laryngopharynx. Okay, see here, these are the parts of the pharynx. So here, if you look this part, it is called as a nasopharynx. So this is a part you're looking, that is called as a pharynx. This part is called a nasopharynx. This part is called oropharynx and this part is called as the laryngopharynx. So nasopharynx, if you look, it is the upper part of the pharynx situated behind the nasal cavity. So it is situated behind the nasal cavity and above the soft palate. Its wall is rigid and non-collapsible. It is respiratory function. This is a part which is a part of the respiratory system. So it is respiratory. No, it is function is like respiratory in function, and no food ever enter it. So this part you see, no food will ever enter to it. So if you look the roof, this is a roof and the posterior wall of the nasopharynx. It is formed by the bone. The bone is formed by the body of the sphenoid bone and the basilar part of the occipital bone and by the anterior arch of the atlas. So the roof and the posterior wall of nasopharynx formed by body of sphenoid, basilar part occipital bone and the anterior arch of the atlas vertebra. So the roof present the following features. So what are the features you see there? So what features you see, the one is nasopharyngeal tonsil. Here you can see a tonsil here, that is called as a nasopharyngeal tonsil. Nasopharyngeal tonsil, what is it? It is formed by aggregation of lymphoid tissue deep to mucous membrane and it projects from the roof like a conical marks. Okay, so in children, if you look, if there is any infection and all, this nasopharyngeal tonsil will get enlarged and lead to a condition called an adenoid. So what happened, the nasal breathing will be stopped and they start from breathing from the mouth, that is called adenoid. Then you see a bursa here, it is called as a pharyngeal bursa. So what do you mean by pharyngeal bursa, otherwise called a pouch of Lischka? It is a mucous diverticule extending into nasopharyngeal tonsil. So here it is a bursa like, it is like pouch, it is called as a pouch of Lischka. It is a mucous diverticulum. It is like a mucous divert extending into the nasopharyngeal tonsil. Then the lateral wall of the nasopharynx present the following feature. What all you see in the lateral wall here, the lateral wall nasopharynx, it consists of the part you can see here, it is called opening there, called as the opening of the auditory tube, and it is above you see elevation, it is this elevation called as the tubal elevation. Then the tonsil present there called as a tubal tonsil. So in the lateral wall of nasopharynx you see, one is the auditory tube, this opening what you see, that is called auditory tube. The elevated part is called tubal elevation, which consists of tonsil present there, they are called as a tubal tonsil. So these are the features you see in the nasopharyngeal part. Okay, so here you can make out clearly the classification of pharynx into three parts. Behind the nasal cavity is called a nasopharynx, behind the oral cavity we call oropharynx, and behind the larynx we call it as a laryngopharynx. Then moving on to the next part, if we look the pharynx will continue further as a part called as the esophagus. So here you see in the pharynx there are muscles, they are called as constrictor of the pharynx. Okay, the constrictor of pharynx are three. They are called as superior constrictor, middle constrictor and inferior constrictor. So constrictor of pharynx are three: superior, middle and the inferior constrictors. These are the three constrictors of the pharynx. Then there are longitudinal muscles of the pharynx. The longitudinal muscles of the pharynx are called as stylopharyngeus, salpingopharyngeus and palatopharyngeus. Means what? It is taking origin from styloid process. So we call it as stylopharyngeus. It is taking origin from auditory tube, salpingopharyngeus. It is taking origin from palate. We call it as the palatopharyngeus. So these are the muscles of the pharynx: stylopharyngeus, salpingopharyngeus and palatopharyngeus. Okay, then next, when you come to the next, about I told in the oral part, okay, that is the oropharynx. Okay, then in the part you see the tonsil. The tonsil are called as pharyngeal tonsil, palatine tonsil, lingual tonsil and tubal tonsil. These are the four tonsil. They form a ring. This ring is called as a Waldeus ring. So you can see that, see here, this is called a pharyngeal tonsil. On the either side you see they are called tubal tonsil, either side palatine and the lingual tonsil. What is the function of this, of all this? They form a ring, okay, they call as Waldeus ring. See what they do, the tonsil, the tonsil are a part of the lymphatic organ. So they do, the main function of it is it prevents infection. But sometimes tonsil themselves get infected, which can lead to their enlargement, okay. So this form a ring which protect from the from microorganism from entering into oral cavity. They form a ring. That ring is called as Waldeus ring. So what are the contribution of that? You see here they are formed by pharyngeal tonsil, tubal tonsil, palatine tonsil and lingual tonsil. These form a ring called as the Waldeus ring. See, these are the tonsil you are seeing. When you open your mouth and look, no, that are the tonsil you are seeing. Okay, this is called as a palatine tonsil. You are looking the tonsil there, that is called as a palatine tonsil. Okay, next we are looking into the next part. If I tell you, that is called as pharynx. Pharynx at the level of the lower border of the cricoid cartilage, otherwise called as correspond to C6 cervical vertebra. The pharynx will continue further as esophagus. So what do you mean by esophagus? Okay, esophagus, it is a muscular tube of about 25 centimeter in length. You can see it is a muscular tube. The length of it is about 25 centimeter in length and it extends from laryngopharynx at the level of C6 cervical vertebra or lower border cricoid cartilage and end at the cardiac end of the stomach. So you see that is an extension, that is a part of the esophagus, okay. So what do you see? There are, if you see the esophagus, it has got parts, okay. The part are called, one present is called in the cervical region, we call it a cervical part. Then in the thoracic region, we call it a thoracic part. Then in the abdominal region. There are three parts of esophagus: cervical, thoracic and abdominal part. After that, if you look, there are constrictions of the esophagus, okay. The esophagus consists of four constrictions. The four constrictions are called a first constriction, second constriction, third constriction and fourth constriction. So the first constriction, if you look, the first constriction, where it lies at the level of the beginning, where it begins. At what vertebral level? Esophagus begin at C6. So cricopharyngeus part. At pharyngoesophageal junction, which will correspond to C6 cervical vertebra. It is about 6 inches from incisor teeth. So first constriction at what level you see? Vertebral level C6. Okay, that is called as a cricopharyngeus. Next, second constriction you see at the level of T4. It will correspond to arch of aorta. The next constriction you see T4. Okay, that is called second constriction, where it is crossed by arch of aorta. It corresponds to T4 vertebra. It is about 9 inches from incisor teeth. They like constriction, no? They count from here. It will lie about 9 inches from incisor teeth. Then it comes the third constriction, where it is crossed by, if you see the third constriction, it is crossed by the left bronchus. You see, this is the left bronchus. It lies at the level of the Next, T6 cervical vertebra. Okay, the T6 cervical vertebra, it is about 11 inches from the incisor teeth. It lies about 11 inches from inside the teeth. Then the last you see, the fourth constriction is where the esophagus passes through diaphragm. See, the fourth constriction is where you can see here the diaphragm. That is the fourth constriction. It corresponds to T10. You have seen the opening in the diaphragm. Do you remember? T10. T10 is for the esophagus. So, T10. It is about 15 to 16 inches from incisor teeth. So, remember, esophagus consists of 4 constrictions. First constriction at C6. Then comes T4, T6 and T10. Okay, first is for the beginning, that is called cricopharyngeal. Next, second constriction by arch of aorta. Third constriction by the left bronchus. Fourth is by the esophageal hiatus. These are the constrictions of the esophagus. Okay, so you can see in the X-ray here, you can clearly see what you are looking here. This is the esophagus. So here you are looking the constrictions of the esophagus there. So remember, in the esophagus you have to know about what are the constriction of the esophagus are present. Okay, this is about the class. Thank you.